This is Brittany. 60 years from now, I've come to tell you to watch these videos if you want to age well. Maybe I will look the same 60 years from now. Who knows? I guess it depends on the choices I make now. So what choices can we make that help us age better and extend lifespan?
How do we extend lifespan? Well, it's not just lifespan we want to extend, it's health span. We don't want to be 200-year-old vegetables. Some of the people we can learn the most from have lived into their hundreds, centenarians. There is an international database on longevity, and the oldest person recorded alive is Jean Calment, who lived up to 122 years old. I hope I live to be that old. Currently, the oldest person is 117, Kane Tanaka. So what is it that allows these centenarians to get so old? Is it their genes, the genetics they were brought up with? Is it the environment, the place where they were brought up, and everything they put into their body? Or is it just plain old luck? You might be pretty unlucky right now if you're surrounded by COVID in your country, an elder. Or if you just wander into the street and get hit by a car, that's pretty unlucky. If you're hit by a car, whether you have good genes or not, you might die. Let's take a look at what you're born with first, your genes. And as it turns out, they do play a role in how long you live. I found it interesting that sets of mutations, so changes in your genes or DNA, that delay puberty or childbearing are more common in long-lived people. And a specific gene, ApoE, has been shown to have two versions that promote longevity and another version that is not seen in many people over the age of 70 and is associated with Alzheimer's. Genes have the possibility of delaying the onset of age-related diseases and/or helping with resistance to otherwise lethal illnesses occurring earlier in life. We have a combination of genes, environment, resilience, and chance that might impact aging. And environment is the one that we have the most control over. There are some parts of it that you can change. You can change your diet. You can change your exercise routine. You can change which pharmaceutical products, which drugs you put into your body. And there's this last category that I'm simply going to call avoiding bad. Let's talk about diet. Before I dive into this, I want to note I'm not a doctor. I also want to note that more research needs to be done. So the results and the information that I'm sharing here are based on current research articles, but a lot of them are from animal studies, not human studies. So with that out of the way, let's dive into it. One of the most researched and best proven ways to extend lifespan is calorie restriction. Yes, it's that simple. So this is calorie restriction without malnourishment. So you're not depriving your body of anything. What is a calorie? Well, what we call a calorie is actually a kilocalorie, or kcal on a lot of your food packaging. And calories provide our bodies with energy in the form of heat so that they can function. Calorie restriction increases both mean lifespan and maximum lifespan. What are these two things? Well, if we look at normal humans on a regular diet as an example, the mean is the average age that people survive until, which for humans is around 80. The max is the oldest the species survived till. In humans, that's 122. Let's take a look at one of the studies that best shows the impact that calorie restriction can have on aging. Believe it or not, both of these monkeys here are the same age. They're both 27.6 years old, which is about the average lifespan of rhesus monkeys. And you'll see from the photo they look a lot different. The one on the left looks like it's graying and balding, it has a bit of an arched back, and the one on the right still looks young. The difference between these two monkeys, believe it or not, is only calorie restriction. The one on the left had a normal caloric intake, and the one on the right had 30% less calories. It showed after 20 years that 50% of the normal monkeys had died, but only 20% of the calorie-restricted monkeys had died. They found calorie restriction to reduce the risk of diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, and brain atrophy. Pretty amazing results from just restricting your calories by 30%. The way that calorie restriction is thought to increase lifespan is through a nutrient sensing pathway. It decreases this nutrient sensing pathway, which has a whole bunch of downstream effects that result in a slowing down of aging. However, you can't completely stop the nutrient sensing pathway because, of course, you need food and you need to be able to sense your nutrients to survive. This study and others show the power of calorie restriction on slowing down aging in other animals and in humans.
Don't eat too much, or you will look like this too.
So if all it takes is decreasing your calories, why doesn't everyone have a longer lifespan? When you're restricting your calories, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to cut back how much you eat. You just have to be careful about what you eat, because some foods have a lot more calories than others. For example, we could have these 4 little pieces of chocolate here, or you could have 2.5 mandarins for the same amount of calories. What would you choose?
What are you eating?
Nothing? So what other dietary changes could you make? Studies in mice have shown promising results. Intermittent fasting increases mean and maximum lifespan. So this is abstaining from food for 16 to 18 hours a day and eating all of your food within a small window. It has also been shown that specifically protein restriction increases mean lifespan, but not maximum. And amino acid restriction of methionine and tryptophan has shown to increase both mean and maximum lifespan. These other dietary changes also slow down aging through a decrease in the nutrient sensing pathway. And if you don't want to change your diet, you can at least change your exercise habits. Endurance exercise has been shown to increase mean and maximum lifespan by increasing insulin sensitivity. But you already know that changing your diet and exercise patterns could make you healthier. And that's not what you're watching this video for. You're watching this video for hoping there's some magic pill that can help you live longer without changing anything about your current life. While diet is probably the best way to extend your lifespan, there has been some promising research into pharmaceutical drugs. Resveratrol acts like an antioxidant. It protects your body against free radicals that are produced every time you metabolize food and age you. It's found in foods such as red grapes, berries, and dark chocolate. Rapamycin inhibits an mTOR pathway, which has a bunch of proteins involved in longevity. It's used as an immunosuppressant for organ transplants. Some studies have shown that metformin is able to decrease nutrient sensing pathways and extend lifespan. It's used to treat type 2 diabetes. Aspirin, which decreases inflammation, has been shown to increase only the mean lifespan in men, and it's used for swelling and headache treatment. And green tea extract, which acts like an antioxidant, has been shown to increase the mean lifespan only in females. More research needs to be done to weigh out the pros and cons, as some of them also have very serious side effects. And the last category, avoiding bad. Now this is pretty self-explanatory, that avoiding bad things can help you live longer. But in case you need a reminder, here it is. If you avoid smoking, radiation, including that from the sun, drinking alcohol, eating fatty and unhealthy foods, stress, and putting yourself in dangerous situations, you can live longer. So here it is, a reminder to you all, be safe, avoid the bad stuff, and maybe you'll just extend your lifespan by a few years.
This is Brittany from the future, warning you to eat healthy. Obviously, not everyone lives until the age of 122. But with the tips in this video, now you'll know how to age better and hopefully extend your lifespan. Living for a long time is great, but what's even better is immortality. Keep an eye out for part number 3 to find out how likely human immortality is. Thanks for watching! This is my Hungarian grandmother. Brikni! Disano Brikni! Oh, jó éjszaka!